Wales, a land of myth and legend, natural beauty and mystique. Everybody knows the colossal castles of Raglan, Caerphilly, Pembroke and Cardiff. But in today's video we'll be exploring this great countryside as we uncover the lesser known historic castles which crown the hills and valleys of South Wales. Welcome to the Hidden Castles of South Wales. For our third historic castle, we travel to the Gower Peninsula, which is brimming with beautiful cliffs, seaside pubs, and most importantly, medieval castles hidden amongst the farmsteads. Weobley Castle is on the northern coast of the Gower, on the grounds of a working farm. This is actually technically not a castle, but is instead a fortified manor house, likely to have been built by the de la Beer family in the 14th century. The first confirmed record of a fortification on this site is from 1318 in the form of a deed signed by Adam de la Beer. During the 15th century, the manor changed hands to a new owner, Rhys ap Thomas. Rhys was a Welsh landholder turned soldier who rose up through the ranks during the War of the Roses, and came from a family line of Welsh soldiers who aided the Lancastrians throughout the war. His grandfather was killed at the Battle of Mortimer's Cross in 1461, and his father, Thomas, continued fighting for the Lancastrians even after their crushing defeat later that year at the Battle of Towton. Both Thomas and his brother Owain defended the previously mentioned Carrick-Kennen Castle against the Yorkist army in the 1462 siege, although the castle was lost to the Yorkist besiegers. Wales was plunged into a particularly tumultuous time during the 1460s as the Yorkist military was steamrolling through the Lancastrian-held lands. Thomas returned to Wales and attempted to reacquire some of his lands back from the Yorkists, of which he was partially successful. Rhys then inherited these lands when his father Thomas passed away in 1474, and was able to reclaim most of his estates back throughout his life as a career soldier under the banner of Henry Tudor. Rhys ap Thomas's greatest claim to fame came in 1485, where he pledged 2,000 of his own men to fight alongside Henry Tudor. This large retinue of Welsh soldiers came particularly useful in helping Tudor claim victory at the Battle of Bosworth. Some poets at the time say that Rhys ap Thomas himself killed the Yorkist king Richard III at Bosworth by cleaving him in the back of the head with his halberd. But other poets refer to Welsh halberdiers under the command of Rhys carrying out this killing blow, rather than Rhys himself. Following the resolution of the War of the Roses, Rhys ap Thomas saw great fortune for his efforts, and his status was elevated substantially. It is even said that he may have become the most powerful man in Wales, as his reliable allegiance continued with Henry Tudor's son, who became King Henry VIII. Unfortunately, this new power spoiled the family's name, as seen clearly when his grandson inherited the estates and began feuds with other very important people in the court of King Henry VIII. Which led to his execution and seizing of his lands, now being placed under the ownership of the Crown. So, Weobley Castle was rented out to various tenants over the following 400 years, until it was placed in the hands of the state in 1911 to look after. It is rather incredible how Weobley Castle has managed to stay almost untouched as a 14th century manor house, with very minimal later adaptations. The castle survives today as a semi-ruinous fortress with some interior rooms still accessible, one room of which is a charming little museum with a rich pool of information about the history of the Gower Peninsula.